Yoni Ahafia has joined me. Cephas Haywood Amate, Reverend, as a Liberty Liberty Time International is the president. Then Helen Apia Ampofo is a lawyer as well. Lady and gentlemen, good morning. Welcome, Rev.
Good morning,
how you doing? It's been a while.
Yeah, Charlie.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Where do we begin? Shall we begin from the ladies? Of course, yes, ladies first.
Ladies first.
Stinginess in relationships. Is it a reality?
It is a reality on both parts. Anybody can be stingy in a relationship. Are these tweets that you were reading out?
Right.
One thing that I did like is that a relationship is built on sharing,
Right.
which should be the premise. And if you're sharing with each other, then there is nothing like being stingy, if you will. But it is a real thing. Some people like to receive more than they give, which is a problem, and it goes both ways.
I see. Yoni,
Yep.
what's on your mind?
Yep.
Is it guys who are more stingy in relationships or women?
Probably, I would say the guys,
Why?
depending on certain experiences. But I'll actually take it in two folds.
Okay, share.
It's first, it's either the guy is born stingy, or he really doesn't cherish the relationship.
Okay. Or he learns to be stingy along the line.
Cool. Because if you do cherish the relationship and then you want the relationship to actually go far, why would you be stingy? I read an article when coming.
Okay.
There is this baby mama who had to break up with his husband and
Okay.
then had a boyfriend. The boyfriend was stingy. She stayed with this guy, got married to him. The guy was never willing to do anything.
Okay.
Even at the point in time where her fridge even got spoiled, he told the lady to pay because he had a friend that was going to do it. And then he was going to get something from the friend for introducing the friend to the lady.
Right.
Who does that? So if you are not born stingy, then there is no way you're actually going to be stingy. Or probably maybe you had some issues in your past relationship where a lady showed you certain attitudes.
Right.
That's
One
where-
bitten twice shy, one spitting twice shy.
Of course, of
So-
course. But
so-
of course, it's as I already said, it's two things. It's either you are born stingy or you just don't cherish the relationship.
Is it the women who make the men stingy? Or the men are stingy naturally? I'll come to Rev shortly because he has had to engage a lot of people on this matter. So.
Let's take the question again. You're saying
Is it the women who make the men stingy because of perhaps the demands that they make of the men while in the relationship? Or it is the men who decide to be stingy because they think it's one of the rules to make the relationship what it is?
I think the men are stingy because they're stingy. I don't think we can do too much mathematical calculation about this. If you're stingy, you're stingy. There are a lot of people that love to give and give abundantly. I think if you're stingy, then it's innate. That's your nature. Somebody that loves to give will never stop giving. That's my opinion.
Reverend, let me turn my attention to you. You have had the chance to interact with a lot of couples, you know, married, would-be married, married on the brink of breaking up, and all of that. What are the key stories that you have heard? Maybe you want to share one or two with me, concept of...
Well, flipping from the tweets you read and the thoughts my new friends have shared here. See, and I go back to the Bible, okay? Jesus talks about counting the cost before you put up a building.
Right.
And then he says, lay the foundation. We must understand one thing. Don't build relationships on emotions.
Okay.
Because it comes back to that. I have folks, like you say, every time. I mean, in the last few weeks, I've been sharing with a friend who is beginning a relationship.
Okay.
And my position is simple. Define yourself to the person quickly.
Okay.
Don't wait to go 3-6 months into the relationship because before you start setting your tax in place. Define yourself from day one. You say to the gentleman, I am a single lady. These are my challenges, and that's why I am single.
Okay.
That's why you got me. If you want to stay with me, this is how I want it to go for me. You tell me yours, then we understand ourselves.
Ground rules.
Ground rules, they are key to everything.
Okay.
You understand? Because you're getting married, right? You quickly have to discuss what to do with the in-laws from the man's side and the in-laws from the woman's side.
Right.
Once you have these definitions, some of these things just fabric. They're not really
You
there.
want to woo the woman. You want to impress the woman. She impress.
Look, listen.
What do you consider stingy? She may not consider as being stingy. For example, she wants an iPhone X. And you are here thinking that she deserves a small Infinix somewhere. And because you can't afford it, she says you are stingy.
I'll tell you this. You see, theoretical science, right? Theoretical science will tell you that an elephant can hang from a cliff tied to a silk thread. Reality will tell you it doesn't work that way.
Okay.
What are you in the relationship for? Is this, you can have a night over relationship, buy an iPhone 55, and that's it. You're broke forever. That's cool. Is she in for a long haul? Because there's a way to run a 100-meter race, and there are rules for a marathon. So that is the issue. Because you see, somebody you see as what you saying, stingy, is actually thrifty. The guy knows that. You asking me for this morning. This is how much I earn, and this is how much I make. This is what I have in place. I know that Monday or Sunday there's church, or Saturday
all
there's
her
a
friends
wedding.
have the iPhone X.
It doesn't matter.
They have Samsung S9.
Exactly. Is that what your life is?
Why mustn't she have one?
She can have it. But they didn't have it before they had it, did they? There's a time for all that.
I see.
Because you see, we might be thrifty. If it's a one night off, that's cool. Do everything you want to do, and then it's gone. And that's why people are frustrated, because nobody's going to leave the X20 with you every day.
So,
is that real?
Helen, let me come to you.
Yes.
So let's assume that you come from a very wealthy family. You meet a gentleman who doesn't come from a wealthy family. He's earning, something around 1,000 to 1,500.
Which is a lot.
And yes, and you're asking him to get you an iPhone X, or to be taking you out on a regular basis, buying you pizza, do this, do that, and he can't afford it, so because of that, you place a stingy tag on him. Is that what the ladies do out there?
I mean, I can only speak for myself. So first of all, I wouldn't ask for expensive gifts, especially if I know where my other half is coming from. So if you have gone to over-represent yourself,
Good one.
Okay.
you've come to me, if the first time you came to me, you came in a Range Rover. 6 months down the line,
Borrowed Range Rover.
A borrowed Range Rover. I don't want to go out in a taxi because you have over-represented yourself. But if you came to me and you said, this is what I do, this is how much I earn, this is me, this is the true me, then that's what I'll be expecting.
Maybe you were playing hard to get, so he had to do something
to
get you in.
Yeah, it's normal. In the beginning of the relationship, everybody is different. Everybody is, gives freely. So yes, everybody is more generous when things start off. You're wooing each other.
Would a stingy man necessarily break the back of your relationship? Could that end the relationship?
I think it could, especially in a situation where both parties or one party is given more. So the man is stingy, but the woman has no problem spending on her other half. I would not think a relationship like that would last. It would break the relationship. At least for myself, it would be a deal breaker. If I'm spending money on you, or at least I'm sharing some of my earnings on doing nice things for you, and for you, you're keeping all your earnings to yourself, don't want to do anything nice for me at all, that would be a deal breaker for me.
What kind of pressures do the young ladies out there put on fine men like you?
Oh,
and then they place that stingy tag on you.
as you can see, like there are a lot of this slave
Slave
queens out there. So based on how they actually come out, that's what places the pressure on us.
Okay.
I guess you understand. Now I want
so
to.
you're doing Brazilian. You're doing
just imagine
expensive bags, expensive shoes.
What I make at work is just something I'm actually managing my own self. Okay, and then I see this pretty lady I want to actually approach. I want to impress. Okay, as she said earlier, I want to impress.
Right.
And then I know if I go probably
the way you are
with foot or the way I am, she wouldn't accept it. So what do? I go borrow a friend's car.
Okay.
I go actually save the money I have, take her to probably a very big restaurant, spend all on her on that particular day just to impress.
Okay.
What happens next? That is what we the guys don't really think about, because you're just trying to impress at the spot.
Right.
But for the long run, what is it about?
Okay.
Can I actually afford it to the end? No. So that's where the pressure comes in.
Rev, what's the wisest thing to do?
Look, there's a difference between...
They have spoken the reality.
There's the reality.
What's the
That's why,
wisest thing to do?
so you see why I said, spell yourself out from the beginning. Look, there's a difference between a national service relationship and a civil service relationship.
Okay.
It's the national service relationship I'm describing is the 100-meter thing. The civil service thing, you are going a long way. It comes with so many things, okay? And that's look, and I'm going to tell you this, and it will surprise you. the finest, high-class, top-quality ladies are the ones who are not that demanding.
Really?
Yeah, because they know who they are. They value themselves. Am I lying?
Absolutely correct.
They value themselves. They will not look to even give her a phone. It's a problem. She doesn't want that. Don't define me as this. She knows what. So, and you see, you can live the reality, or you can live the hype. There are people who are in a relationship, and they want to live the hype. If you, the gentleman, want to go that way, then you buy all the stuff he was alluding to. There are other ladies too who know that I am not going to be like this every day. Maybe you have to move from the slave queens and start nurturing slave princesses.
There are also some good women or supposed good women who think that by pushing the man to be able to deliver on certain things, you're making him better and work harder. If not, then he becomes a lazy man.
Everybody can dream. That's not it.
Okay.
Look.
So all his friends, he lives in a single room. He's partitioned the room with a curtain.
That's right.
He sleeps on one side and he eats on one side. He has his TV on the other side. All his friends who work at the same places that, the same levels of salary, have a single room self-contained. So there's a bedroom, there's a hall, there's a small kitchen on the side. And you have this lady who thinks that, look, I need to push him to be able to get these other things. Does that, if he's not able to do, does that make him stingy?
I'll tell you this. If you're living the hype, push him that way. But if you're going to live the reality and hopefully have a family out of it, that's not the way you're going to push the guy.
Maybe he has the money and he's not using it.
There's a difference between a miser and then a spendthrift. For the spendthrift, once he sees that the guy is coming with money, that it goes.
Okay.
Most guys are not stingy.
Okay.
They know that I don't want a guy around my woman. She's going to need this in 2 weeks' time. And I know I won't have the cash. So I'm going to spread it. I can buy a Brazilian hair 500 cedis today. But in 2 weeks' time, there's a wedding. She will need a new dress. I need to have if you can't afford her, thank you, good night, California. Just start a new life. Because you have to decide what you want to do with your life.
Premarital spending, and that was my final question to you, then I'll go to our guest.
Right.
Premarital spending.
Yes.
A lot of people have been placed in the stingy bracket because of premarital spending.
Right.
And you are talking about the fact that it's for the long haul. And you don't have to spend everything.
Yes.
Now then comes premarital spending, the time when you are doing the campaign before the election.
So you're going to lose the election. You know why?
You're going to lose the election.
Yeah, you're going to lose the election because that should have been premarital saving.
Okay.
And you're doing premarital spending at the time you should be doing premarital saving.
Okay.
You lost the election already.
Helen, premarital spending, premarital saving, stinginess, what are your closing thoughts? Would you say that will break the relationship?
Yes.
But premarital spending, where you're pushing him and he says, Charlie, I don't get their money. What would you do?
You've got to play it by ear. You know what your situation is. You know what the end game is. You've got to watch everything as as an entire relationship.
Okay.
Premarital spending versus premarital saving. It's good to save money. It's also good to spend a little. Find the balance.
I see.
Yeah.
What do you say to, and this was my final question, what do you say to those who believe that, look, the women take expensive gifts from the men, and then when it's their birthday, they bring them toothbrush, roll-on, or deodorant, singlets, boxers, 2 handkerchiefs as if they were bobo dancers. What do you say? And then they tag them as being stingy.
They tag the women as being stingy.
No, yes, the men say, but you're being stingy too.
Actually, when you look into it, women are willing to break their backs for their other halves.
Really?
Yes, women are doing a lot of wonderful things for their other halves. You only hear about the boxers and the singlets. You don't hear about the weekend getaway.
Closing thoughts, Yoni. What do you think? Should a man be stingy necessarily in a relationship just to, maybe you're testing the woman to know if she's the quality one, you know?
No guy who really cherishes a relationship will be stingy. Let's speak.
Thank you.
No matter what happens, you surely give.
Thank you.
Even if it's not giving too much or meeting all her expectations, the little you give means you actually love her.
You come from a rich home, you don't want her to know you're from a rich home, so you play poor.
No matter what happens, you still give.
You give.
Stinginess is when you don't give at all.
At all.
We have guys that don't give at all. He just sits back and then receives.
I see. Thank you very much. I'm grateful. Yoni Ahafia has been my guest as well. Helen Apia Amofo is a lawyer. She's joined me as well here. And Cephas Haywood Amat is a Reverend Minister and Liberty Time International. He's the president there. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Most grateful. Enjoy your Friday. And don't be stingy. Don't be stingy.